All right, we are going live, everybody. Oh, we're busy. Yeah, you gotta be.
Is it gonna break this up?
No, wait a minute.
There's millions of people watching this live.
Everything's good. We're all good. Everything's rolling.
All right, folks, we're gonna go live here.
We're good.
Oh,
You get whenever you're ready.
Well, I'm ready. You want me over here?
Yes, sir.
Where's the number? I feel like that Willy Wonka thing. Are we on? I can pull this down, right?
You can.
It's a flash. Well, out there in New York Wingland, I have to tell you, this is a first for me. I've never been. Well, I have been on TV before. I want to thank everybody for being here, and thank everybody out in the audience who's watching this. This is quite the event, and I'd like to thank everybody that's been here, especially Colonel Ozer and Colonel Andrew, my mentors. So if you liked what I did, thank them. If you don't like what I did, thank them. It all works. They were the guys that taught me how to do this job. And from this point forward, I'll have some more remarks later for you, but I'd like to turn everything over to Colonel Ozer.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you for coming and listening on the TV. Before we begin the change of command ceremony, there's another award I'd like to give out. This award was for Colonel William Hughes. Unfortunately, Bill got snowed in last night, so he couldn't make it down today. But I'd like to talk about it and explain why I did it. And I did mention this at the virtual wing conference, but I think it needs more mentioning. CAP gives out a lot of awards to a lot of people that deserve it, and this one's kind of special. Bill Hughes started the Reaper program. He spent a 6-month program that turned into 4 years. Of that time, countless hours, meetings, every Sunday, training sessions. And even when he had a medical issue, he only missed 2 Sundays. Right? He was so dedicated, and he made the program what it was. And before I read off the award, I'd like to read the citation that goes with it. Lieutenant Colonel William Hughes, Jr. distinguished himself by outstanding performance of duty from 1 September 2015 to 18 September 2019. During this period, he worked with the Air National Guard to develop an escort chase program that would allow MQ-9 Reaper drones to fly through restricted airspace. Lieutenant Colonel Hughes was instrumental in establishing of this mission and served as coordinator. He was tasked with establishing crews, training and briefing those crews on a weekly basis, arranging maintenance of the aircraft, as well as meeting with the Air National Guard, the FAA, and CAP national leadership. This became a national program using crews from 39 CAP wings, flying 1,886 sorties, for a total of 3,056 flight hours. Lieutenant Colonel Hughes was also required to fly missions, fill vacancies, and work around sudden operational changes created by the Air National Guard's training needs. Its efforts amounted to over 7,600 man-hours at the Guard base, 1,500 man-hours at his home, and over 950 traveling hours. Although the program came to an end in September 2019, the extreme success of this operation culminated in saving U.S. Air Force millions of dollars in training costs, increased their training program by approximately 40%, and led them to use CAP escort models in other parts of the country. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Lieutenant Hughes reflect greatly upon himself, the Northeast region, and the Civil Air Patrol. And because of that, I'd like to read this. Attention orders. Civil Air Patrol Distinguished Service Award is awarded to Lieutenant Colonel William H. Hughes, Northeast Region, for distinguished performance of duty during the period of 1 September 2015 to 18 September 2019, effective 21 May 2020, Authority Cap Regulation 39-1. And was approved by the General Staff. So, the award and the citations I will make sure it gets to Colonel Hughes, and I would like to turn it over to
One more time.
our present commander of the wing to make sure he gets it. In addition, there is a bill and the written citation is framed for his use. So we'll make sure he gets that. And for myself, all the work he did, I would personally like to thank him because without his efforts, we wouldn't have accomplished so much that we did. Because of this, a few things that people don't realize. TAP became front line in the Pentagon because of this. They realized how important we were, and that has done so much for the organization because of this. Obviously, he didn't do it alone. He had a lot of people. Tim Nelson, other people were there constantly flying, and they've been recognized. And even though the mission is technically had completed 4 years, it's still an active mission because when the newfangled radar system goes down, we get a phone call, or he gets a phone call and says, "Can you get a crew tomorrow morning to help us out?" So, sporadically, we're still doing it. So, on behalf of myself, TAP, and Northeast Region, Bill Hughes, sorry you couldn't be here, but thank you, because without you, it wouldn't have been a success. Thank you. Yes. I'd like to now turn it over to Colonel Carello for some remarks.
You know, when you do things like this, I mean, everybody knows I've been on the command staff since, when did you hire me? 2006. And so this will be the first time in a long time that I will not be on the command staff. To thank everybody, it'd be impossible for me, but I need to tell a few people and people in the audience, you don't do this job by yourself. This wasn't Tom Carello being the boss. This was Tom Carello having one hell of a staff. And that staff, Colonel Jones, Colonel McGee, we've been together forever. I mean, being able to call Colonel Andrew and say, "Hey, what am I doing wrong?" Colonel Lozer, how do I fix this? Jack all the time to tell you to take him out to lunch, but this is what you did. You know, Jackie Sturgis. I mean, you can't run a wing without a Jackie Sturgis. You know, there's just so many of you. Kathy Torres. I mean, cadet programs. Anita Martin and Bert down there in Aerospace Ed. Keith. He set this whole thing up. He even called Arizona to find out what the password was to our internet. Tim Nelson flies in from Massachusetts. It's the kind of friends we made. Mark Lee. I mean, it's just, Debbie. I mean, I can't tell you how many times Debbie put Ann and I up and lived with our baloney down there in Long Island. My group commanders. I mean, every one of them was just a joy to work with. So there's plenty of things that happen in this wing. This wing is large. It is the largest. It will always be the largest. Sorry, Kevin, but it will. At the end of the day, you don't do this by yourself. So I feel like I'm turning this wing over to somebody that I really respect. I think he'll enjoy it. I mean, he'll definitely do a better job than I did. He's just a lot sharper than I am. And that I wish this wing well, because you deserve it. You're hardworking. You guys just are amazing to me. And the last thing I'll say is, pilots, if you don't fly, my cadets, take those planes still and find some other place to put them. So, again, thank you all. I really do appreciate all the work and friends I've made over the years. Thank you.
Before we begin the actual ceremony, the change of command was a ceremony that has been around since the Roman legions. It was the passing of the flag to allow the troops at that time to know who their leader was. We will do that in a moment. But before I let Tom go, I've got some things I want to present to him. He doesn't get off that easily. And attention orders. Civil Air Patrol, Distinguished Service Award is awarded to Colonel Thomas Carello, CAP 105483, New York Wing, for distinguished performance of duty during the period 25 January 2017 to 23 January 2021. Effective 23 January 2021, Authority CAP Regulation 39-3. I'd first like to present you with the certificate. Place on the wall. Place on the wall. To go along with that, is your award. And I'd like to read the citation. Citation to accompany the Distinguished Service Award to Thomas Carello. Colonel Thomas Carello distinguished himself by outstanding performance of duty as Commander, New York Wing, from 25 January 2017 to 23 January 2021. During this period, Colonel Carello's professional skills and innovative leadership abilities contributed greatly to the implementation and success of national policies and programs in New York Wing. Particularly noteworthy was the efforts to expand the relationship between New York Wing and state and local government agencies. This collaboration led to New York Wing receiving grants totaling over $700,000, which were used to purchase 3 Redbird simulators, 10 quadcopters, rebuild a mission base in rural New York, and additional photographic, navigation, and communication equipment. These investments substantially improve the abilities and readiness of the New York Wing Emergency Service Program. Colonel Carello also worked diligently with units of the New York National Guard. This expanded partnership led to a closer relationship between the two organizations and recognition of CAP as an important member of the disaster response within the state. As a direct result of Colonel Carello's leadership during this period in the wing, it grew in membership by 23% for cadets and 20% for senior members. His support of the Senior Member Education Training Program led to 152 Benjamin O. Davis Awards, 107 Grover Leoning Awards, 17 Paul Garber Awards, and 6 Gilroy Wilson Awards. The success of the Wing's cadet program was evidenced by the Wing selection as the Northeast region winner of the cadet program mission both in 2019 and 2020, as well as 17 cadets earning CAP's highest cadet achievement, the General Carl A. Spots Award. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Colonel Thomas Carello reflect the highest credit upon himself, New York Wing, and the Civil Air Patrol.
Do you need another picture?
Can I get one with them both?
Certainly.
Can I put this one down?
Yeah. There we go. And good. Like 60. Yeah.
And we do have this beautiful plaque.
Wow.
Okay. Presented to Colonel Thomas Carello, CAP, with distinguished service as Commander, January 2017 to January 20, and Mark E. Smith, Major General.
Yep. You guys want? Yep. Good.
So personally, before I let him go for a short time, Tom has been together with me. We've been doing work together as a team for many years. As my vice commander, when I was the wing commander in New York, there were several questions where he got on the phone and said, "You really want to do that?" I said, maybe you're right. So he's my shadow, my mentor also in a lot of areas, and we work together very well. And I thank him personally, which did a great job. You tell me everything else. And we're not done with him. Effective February 1st of this year, Tom will temporarily take over as wing commander for Vermont Wing. So, we didn't get rid of him right away. So with that, I'd like to do the change of command. Let's set up, do that. Before we begin, first, attention orders. Announcement is made of the appointment of Lieutenant Colonel John Jones, Cap 212-805, as Commander, New York Wing, Civil Air Patrol. Vice Colonel Thomas Carello, Cap 105-3A, and promoted to the temporary grade of Colonel. Colonel Thomas Carello is promoted to the permanent grade of Colonel upon completion of assignment as Commander, New York Wing, Civil Air Patrol, effective 23 January 2001. Authority Cap Regulation 35-5. Sir, I relinquish command.
Sir, I accept command.
Are you sure?
That's a question you should ask my wife.
Okay, step back a moment. You can step up. And raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, place your full name.
I, John Anthony Jones, have been promoted to the grade of Colonel
In the Civil Air Patrol.
in the Civil Air Patrol.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support and comply
that I will support and comply
with the constitutions,
with the constitutions,
bylaws,
bylaws,
and regulations
and regulations
of the Civil Air Patrol.
of the Civil Air Patrol.
That I take this obligation freely
That I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well
and that I will well
and faithfully discharge
and faithfully discharge
all duties and responsibilities,
all duties and responsibilities,
as well as obey
as well as obey
the orders
the orders
of the officers appointed
of the officers appointed
to me according to regulations.
to me according to regulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. I think I do on you, right?
That's my final thing, ladies and gentlemen, those present and on the television. I now present to you Colonel John Jones, Commander, New York Wing.
I don't know what to say. I'm just humbled and honored. Really, I can't really say that I'm the New York Wing Commander. The support and the texts and the calls and the emails that I got from people in the wing just very much humbled me. I owe this to Colonel Carello. Colonel Carello has been my friend and mentor for 20 years, going back to when he was a deputy commander, way more than 20 years of Central New York group. So we had more good times than we did bad, especially over the last 4 years. He kept me in check when I got a little heated sometimes. He always was able to keep me from going off the cliff. So I owe him more than he'll ever know, and I hope he understands. So thanks to Colonel Ozer for the confidence in me. I appreciate it. I won't let you down. Colonel Andrew, thank you for making it. Colonel Lee, my buddy Tim Nelson and Eric in the back from Massachusetts who braved the weather to come up. Schools. Harry Lefebvre, Jackie Sturgis, Keith James, Kathy Torres, all the people that I'm on the phone with weekly, and people who have been confident to me and done a lot of work for this wing. Like Tom said, this is not something you do alone, right? You have to have a team of people around you, and we're lucky to have that. There's not going to be wholesale changes in the wing, right? When the ship's sailing in a straight direction, you don't do anything to drive it off course. So Colonel Carello has left us in great shape, and I intend to continue that. The only really change that you're going to see immediately is we'll have 2 vice commanders. Happy to announce Colonel Pat McGee is going to come back, be a vice. Pat's been a confidant of mine for the 4 years I was on the command staff, and his counsel and his vast knowledge of almost every C&D regulation will serve the wing well. Our second vice commander is going to be Colonel Robert Ormsby, who made the trip down. Colonel Ormsby is a career Army NCO and a longtime CAT member who will bring a lot of knowledge to the table. So I'm happy to have both of those guys on board. Lastly, I have to thank my wife, who now only rolls her eyes at every other phone call that comes in. So she's been really a saint, and I definitely don't deserve her. And I thank her a lot for putting up with it and supportive. And she gets it. She spent 22 years active duty with the Air Force, so she understands what it means to serve and to give back. So thank you. That's all I have. Hopefully, I don't let you all down. My goal is this is our wing, not my wing. So that's all. Before we sign off, though, there's some gifts we'd like to give Colonel Carello. If you don't mind keeping the tape rolling for a few more minutes. Colonel Fever, can you come up and do the plaque for us?
Do your best to speak up, Colonel.
I'm accustomed with diameter public speaking. Colonel Carello, would you plaque, words with me. President Colonel Thomas Carello, CAC, New York Wing Commander. Leadership embodies integrity, fairness, friendship, and respect held in a firm guiding hand. And October 2016, 23 January 2021, presented by grateful members of the New York Wing.
Beautiful.
No, it's a group effort. We're still waiting. See, there it goes again. We're going to give it to one person. Everybody there.
Want no car?
Colonel Carello, we want to present this gift to you for your outstanding service as our wing commander. It reads Colonel Thomas Carello's cap, New York Wing Commander, in October 2016 to 23 January 2021, a true leader and mentor.
I don't know what to say. This is beautiful.
Try not to hurt yourself.
Got the word there's trying. This is beautiful. Thank you. This is great. It's amazing.
Why don't you wield it there? There we go.
Just Terry again.
Couple more things for you, boss. I was not going to take this out of the box because when I looked at it, it was far too fragile and delicate to put it together. But it's a Civil Air Patrol aircraft model.
Wow.
And yeah, it's got a lot of little antennas and stuff on it, so you can put it together when you get home. But this is for you.
Beautiful. Thank you.
One last thing for you. This might be more for Ann than for you. Well, this is for you. I'll give this to Ann. She can open it on the car ride to the lake. But
All right, I got it.
yeah, thank you for everything you did for all of us.
Oh, we're gonna do this tonight.
You can thank McGee for the suggestion. But
Thank you, Patrick.
thank you for everything. I mean, all your friends in the wing chipped in to do this.
You guys are too
And
much.
we appreciate you. You're loved by everybody. Whether you know it or not, you made a huge impact.
I would go every.
You made a huge impact. I know on my life, not a lot of people. So, congratulations, and I still have your phone number.
And I won't refuse your call. Again, everybody, thank you. Wonderful. I don't even know what to say. So I'm gonna knock off. Thank you.
All right, thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, that's what.
Not good.
Yeah, I have two things here.
They don't have
I've gone through 13 wing commanders, which is more than most of you can say. I've been here 64 years. No way. So, logistics has an obligation to set the commander off on the right foot. You know, if there's a murder shit.
Make sure he leaves.
Well, the first thing is, you get a screaming eagle. We can go along with that. Let's see. To light the way, you get enough light, so you think it's dim for you, okay?